So who will do the white box testing, guys?
The developer will do the.
Yes, correct. So the developer will do the white box testing. Why they need to do? Because they need to check at least one time whether the code is working properly or not, right? So that's the reason white box testing is done by developers. Correct, right? And what about black box testing? Who will do the black box testing? The black box testing is done by the testing team. Okay. So the last class we discussed, right? The testing types are two types. One is structural testing. Another is what? Functional testing. So we are the functional testers. So we are the functional testers. Okay. So simple question they will ask you, can you define the testing types? So you can simply say that the testing types are black box testing and white box testing, or you can say that structural testing or functional testing. So structural testing, who will do the structural testing? Structural testing is nothing but what? White box testing. So white box testing is always done by developer. I told you, right? If you know the code, if you know the logic, then what kind of testing you can perform? You can perform white box testing. The test is based on knowledge of internal logic of application code. If you know the logic, if you know the code, then what kind of testing you can perform? You can perform white box testing. See, what about black box testing? The black box testing means what? Internal system design is not considered in this type of testing. If you don't know anything about the coding, if you don't know anything about the coding, you can test that application. So suppose you want to test AI related application. So not required to know the code. How you will test without knowing of the code? How you will test, guys? Without knowing of the code, how you will test? You don't know the code, right? Then how you will test? So based on requirements, I told you, right? Here only the thing is what we need to learn, understanding the requirements. If you know the requirements, you can start testing today itself. No need to wait for 25 days or 30 days. If anyone asks you to test this application, then what you need to ask, could you please provide the requirement specifications? Correct. Good. If in case they provide the requirements, right, you can start testing now itself. Ask to Durga, I'm ready to test your application. Give me your application, I'm ready to test. And also what you need to ask them, please provide the requirements. In the requirements, very clearly they will mention what we need to do. Okay. But you need to understand the requirements clearly and functionality. That is what I'm telling, right? Communication. If you are not understand the requirement, you are not speaking, you are not talking, you are not discussing anything with your colleagues or your lead, right? That end of the moment, last day you are saying, I don't know anything, I'm not understand, means these words they won't accept it in the real time. Understanding, right? This is not college, this is not school, right? In organization, they will give you certain period of the time. Take your 2 days of time. Okay. But the end of the day, they're looking for what? The status of your work. Okay. You can tell lie in one day, but you cannot tell the lie the same day, next day, right? Every day you cannot tell the same thing, right? So they will give you certain period of the time, like 1 day or 2 days. Within the 2 days, you need to complete your task. Suppose if you are not understand, you just talk with them. You need to discuss with them. Hey, can you please explain this one? Can you tell me what exactly we need to test? Because you are the tester. If you have a doubt or if you are confused mode, then you will not get a quality product. Tester should be always clear on requirements. If you clear on the requirements, then only we can test. You are only a doubt, means you are having a doubt, lot of doubts will be there. Then you cannot test that application properly, right? Understanding, right? If you are clear on the requirements, then you can easily test your application. So always you need to discuss with your lead or colleagues, and you need to check with your friend, like you need to discuss what is happening, what is happening, what is this functionality. All the functionalities are not same. I told you yesterday, credit card, debit card, you are thinking both are the same. No, the both have the different functionality. You cannot test same as debit card or credit card and expect the functionality to be same. Guys, can you please confirm? Can you hear me? Hello? Guys, can you hear me, right? Yeah, thank you. From my end, there is a power off. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I'm sorry, from my end, the power off. Okay. Okay, where we are in? Okay, we are discussing about the what are the types of testing, right? This is very, very important, guys, in interview question. What are the types of testing? Structural testing and functional testing. We are what? Functional testers. Okay. There are two types, structural testing and functional testing. The structural testing is always done by who will do the structural testing, guys? Can anyone tell me? The structural testing is done by who will do the structural testing? The structural testing is done by developers. I told you, right? Whatever the developer will write the code, right? They need to check at least one time whether the code is working properly or not. Okay. So the developers will also do the testing. Okay. And also they follow some techniques. Like what techniques they follow? Control flow testing, data flow testing, branch testing, path testing, statement coverage, and decision coverage. See, the developer is also do the testing. Don't worry, we are not do all these things. This is only done by developer. Once the don't think that developer is only write the code. Okay, the developer will write the code and also the developer will do the testing. What kind of testing the developer will do means you can simply say that structural testing. The structural testing we can call it as what? Unit testing. It is the mandatory. What is called mandatory? Mandatory means what? What is meaning of mandatory, guys? Mandatory means what? Compulsory. 100% developer not only writing the code, developer need to check whether this code is working properly or not. Must. Yes, correct. Good word. Must. Must and should. You need to check whether the code is working properly or not before they sending to the 2A. Okay, so that is very, very, very important. When you're talking about functional testing, see, we are the functional testers, right? So how we will test? I told you, right? We never see the code. We never see the code. That's the reason they call it as it's a what? A black box. So why they call it as it's a black box? Because we never see the code. Okay. So what we never see the code, but we can able to test. How we will test? We can simply say that the test based on requirements. Okay, they will provide what requirements based on the requirements, and also we need to check the functionality based on the requirements and functionality. We can test any kind of application. I told you, right? First of all, you need to understand the requirements very clearly. If you have any doubts on requirements, right, you need to immediately clarify your requirements. Okay, don't worry, they will tell you. So they will tell you all the requirements. Okay. And also we are also follow some techniques. See, equivalency partition, boundary value analysis, and cause effect graphing. So these techniques we will follow. Okay, let's see when the project will come, right? We will explain more on these areas. But one of the most important interview question: what is BVA? What is called BVA? BVA means what? Boundary value analysis. What is BVA? BVA is nothing but what? A boundary value analysis. Now your requirement is what? Your requirement is enter the username. Enter the username. This is what your requirement. Now is clearly mentioned that the username should be 4 to 15 characters. So the condition is what? The username condition is what? 4 to 15 characters. Now, what you will do? You will test 4 characters, 5 characters, 6 characters, up to 15 you will test, or you have any idea to how to test this one. So what is your approach? You will enter 4 characters. After that, you will enter 5 characters. After that, you will enter 6 characters. Up to 15 you will add. Like this you will test, or any other idea you have. Anyone? How you will test this one? So your requirement is what? 4 to 15 characters only it will allow, right? So in this case, how you will test? How you will test, guys? Can anyone? So here we use what? BVA. What is called BVA? Boundary value analysis. So here what you need to take minimum value. What is called minimum value here? What is the minimum value here? 4. And maximum value is what? What is called maximum value? 15. And what is the range? Can anyone tell me what is the range? What is the range? 4 to 15, right? Now see, simple technique. What you need to do? Very easy. Simple technique. Yeah, correct. So what is the technique here we need to follow? Minimum value minus 1. Maximum value plus 1. So what will happen? If minimum value minus 1 means 3. 3 is valid or invalid? Can anyone tell me 3 is valid or invalid? 3 is valid or invalid, guys? Anyone? Yes or no? 3 is valid or invalid? If I give the 3 characters, this is valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Why it is invalid? Why it is invalid, guys?
Minimum is 4, right?
Yes, correct. You should answer like that. Why it is invalid means if you sit it quite right, then they will simply say that, oh, you don't know that concept. Okay, yes, correct. So minimum value is 4, right? This is invalid. So this should not allow. In case it is allowing means it is a bug. So maximum characters is what? Sorry, minimum characters is how many characters we need to enter? 4 characters. So 4 characters only should allow. If 3 characters is allowing means that is the bug. In interview, they will ask you, they will confuse you. They will ask you why it is wrong. Then you need to give explanation, right? Sitting quiet is not a good answer. You need to give explanation. What is the explanation? It's the minimum value is 4. It is only allow 4. If it is allowing 3 means it is the bug. It is an easy way of learning. So minimum value is what? 4. 4 characters only should be take. Or maximum value is what? 15 characters. Suppose if I am giving 16 characters, is this valid or invalid? 16 characters is valid or invalid, guys? 16 characters. Suppose you are giving 16 characters. That is valid one or invalid one?
Invalid.
Invalid one, right? So it should not take 16 characters. If it is taking 16 characters, right, it's a invalid. See, no need to read, no need to by heart. Within 5 days, you learn all these topics, get into the job. Within 5 days, I'm telling. If you have good proper communication, if you have thinking skills, if you have understanding the requirements, within 10 to 5 days, not more than that. Okay, some people will be there. They are by hearting. BVA is nothing that boundary value analysis minimum -1, maximum +1. If you read like that, you cannot understand the concept. Okay, simply whatever the value is given here, you need to do what? Minimum value -1 and maximum value +1. Whatever the value you are given, like suppose you need to test 5 to 100. Okay, you need to test 5 to 100. So you cannot test 5, 6, 7 up to 100, right? It will take lot of time. So simply what you can do, you can take it as a BVA technique. What is called BVA technique? Boundary value analysis. Minimum value is what? 5 and maximum value is what? Maximum value is 100. So what you can do, simply you can do minimum value -1, 5 -1, 4. 4 is not valid, and 100 not 1. It is not valid. See how simply you are doing the testing. So BVA technique is also is one of the most important one. See in real time how we got the requirements. See, this is very, very important. Actually, when the sorry guys, my laptop is power off.